Since I arrived at Justice in May, I've really been focused on how can we provide better services to our customers at reduced cost.
Okay.
And I think it's something that most CIOs are really focused on.
I have a feeling you hear that theme across
Yes.
more of the agencies than just one.
So in addition to really looking at the services that I provide, how can we improve those services? I think something that's equally important is implementing a service broker model where infrastructure, IT infrastructure, commodity IT services can be sourced from the best-in-class providers. So you're really looking across the whole government as to where we can get these services from. And my strategy is to be all-inclusive, to not to limit our search for the best services. And we want to learn from other experiences. And I've been pushing services, shared services for a long time. Right. And it's really about changing the culture to make, to really build this model in. I believe that shared services ought to be the de facto way that their, IT is delivered in the government. And the service broker model, I think, will make it easier to implement these services. Under this model, I'm encouraging components to, be leaders in shared services. To, so my office doesn't need to provide all the services. I think it's sometimes a concept that
a governance model that pulls in all the components and gives them a say at the table.
Right. Well, I mean, if we don't provide any services at the department level, we use component services, and that's the way we do things. That's fine with me. If a DOJ component wants to extend their services across the department, I'm very supportive. I want to encourage that. But it's not just about DOJ entities. We want to look at other federal agencies, and to include industry. Now, we've already made a lot of progress in this area in 14, but it's a multi-year effort. At the end of 14, we published our first online service catalog. This includes all shared services out of my office. And provides a structure for future as well as existing shared services. By the end of 15, and this is pretty ambitious, is that we want to bring this online where customers can begin to order and to track services. So not everything, but we want to try to bring online shopping for IT services in the Department of Justice. Ultimately, the vision would be something more like Amazon.com, where you're allowing the customer to rate services and provide feedback, so that it's more of a marketplace is determining which services survive, which ones are the ones that are used. And one example that where we've implemented the service broker model in the department is on data center consolidation. So what we're doing is trying to establish one integrated set of hybrid services and infrastructure on-premise, outsourced in the cloud, to deliver the best possible IT services and data centers to our diverse mission. And I think this really will help us redefine how our federated approach to IT is delivered. And it's going to be more agile and I think ultimately more cost-effective to do this. We have a lot of data centers in the Department of Justice right now. And what we're trying to do is consolidate to 3 core enterprise facilities. And these are going to be run by the components. So we've already selected 3 core data centers that will not be run and managed by my office, but rather by the components.
Neat. And
standardized enterprise services.
Okay. Now, if I asked you what is a key lesson learned and something you would be passing on to your colleagues, and what do you think is a key of the success, what would your answer be?
Well, up front, we focus a lot on governance. I mean, who's going to make the decisions, and does everybody get a say, and how do they get a say? How do they get their points of view, their needs taken into consideration? So I think governance is key. I think executive leadership and key executive leadership sponsorship is something that's very important. And then lastly, I think communications is just, you can't communicate enough in this kind of thing when you're trying to change. You need to make sure everybody is on board, everybody understands. And one time is not going to be enough. You're going to need to keep very focused on that.
Yeah, I love it.